Hey, everybody, this is Dr. Kevin McGovern, and this is episode number 4 of the Velocity RX podcast. And the title of today's show is Drop and Drive versus Drift. So that seems to be a kind of a hot topic out there, a little controversial. Years and years ago, look up anyone on YouTube from way back to the Satchel Paige, to the Nolan Ryan, to the Bob Gibson, to the Fernando Valenzuela, you will see a vertical north-south drop and then a movement towards home plate. In today's picture, you see a drift. Okay, here's Clayton Kershaw. Okay, and this is a drift, meaning all of his body has gone forward when his front leg hits the ground. So now you can look at this, his foot's still connected to the mound, but you could clearly see that most of his weight now is on his front foot. Now, as he turns his pelvis, and a lot of guys are taught to leave that back leg or drag it there, to me, all of the strain is going to the arm and elbow. And I'm backed up by numbers because the incident of arm injuries are through the roof. And I want to save 1 million arms. That's my goal. I want to save 1 million arms, and I want to save arms beginning at the adolescent level before they have been corroded or polluted with all the stuff they see on social media, velocity training, which some is good, some is bad, these running guns, which are all bad, and all this stuff that you see on social media that lights up all the likes, most of which are bots. Okay, let me just tell you that. I commented on something that Driveline posted. They were posting, they showed 3 videos of guys, and out of the 30 pitches, 4 were strikes in a completely controlled environment, indoors, perfect mound. Okay, 4 strikes out of 30. Okay, of course, what they have up there? The velocity gun. And then someone with no followers commented on my towel drills. Of course, not commenting on the fact that here's a video you're showing with the purpose of pitching is to throw strikes, and you threw 4 out of 30 with 3 different pitchers. But anyway, I digress. So I have another kind of bad model here. I don't know if you can see it with this virtual background, but if we're looking at this being a left-handed pitcher and we have a leg up in the air, okay, I want the first move to be down and then out, okay? A north-south move so that we're coming down and then out. Try that. As I sit down, I can bring my leg really far out. Now, also what happens with this drift, the mound is slanted. So as we drift, now we're even getting further out ahead of our body because of the slant of the mound. Now, as a hitter, you would never drift all of your body on your front foot because I don't know what they call it now, but when I was growing up, it was called stepping in the bucket. If you stepped in the bucket, you got cut from the high school team. That means you couldn't hit a breaking ball because you're out ahead of it. There's nothing you can do there. Well, they're literally teaching stepping in the bucket for pitching, which I completely don't agree with, because when your body is all the way forward and you turn your pelvis, your arm is late, as opposed to being all the way back. And when you turn in your arm, and here's the most important thing, that back leg has to come with you. It has to be one part. Your arm has got to go from here to here using your body, not your arm, so that when you get here, now you're just throwing, wait for it, downhill, straight downhill in a gravity-assisted position. These guys today with these long arm passes, these M, these T's, these W's, they're releasing the ball from back here. Well, these are a lot smaller muscles in my arm and elbow and my forearm compared to my butt, back, hamstrings, and quads, okay? Use the big muscles. How we use the big muscles is down first and then out. So I'm never going to teach the drift. If you want to learn the drift, or some people say push off the mound, you don't push off the mound. If you pushed off the mound, you'd be in the air, right? I push off, there would be air, okay? So you're not pushing off the mound, all right? We need to drop and drive. It works for guys like Nolan Ryan, Roger Clemens, Curt Schilling, okay? Nolan Ryan, thousands of innings, okay? Jim Palmer, thousands of innings. No arm problems, okay? Today, these guys can't last 4 innings to start. I mean, how many guys have made 30 starts in the last 5 years? 4, 5? I don't think it's that. Okay. They're just not durable. They all throw 100, but guys back then threw hard. Nolan Ryan threw hard. Roger Clemens threw hard. Kurt Schilling threw hard. Okay, but back then, they got the radar at home plate. Now they're getting the radar right out of your hand. What do you think Nolan Ryan's radar was right out of his hand? 110? What about Bob Gibson? What do you think his radar was out of his hand? Okay. So yes, the issue is, well, not issue, but the good thing is more people are throwing harder. Okay. Your relievers are coming in throwing 98 miles an hour, but the injury rate is through the roof. The pitcher's lifespan is through the roof. So my mission of saving a million arms starts with the adolescent. Getting the adolescent moving correctly, getting their body moving correctly, and getting their mechanics neurologically sound. And what's neurologically sound? That means that we're not in this position. Okay. To me, this is a non-athletic position. What do I mean by a non-athletic position or an athletic position? Meaning that you make another athletic move. So let's just say I said, Clayton, you have to kick someone with your left leg. He cannot do that without making a preparatory move to turn his pelvis or right his balance. Okay. Clayton, you have to jab somebody with your left arm as you spin around. Can't do it without a preparatory move. So that is a non-athletic position. When I'm in this position, which I call the karate position, all the weight on my back hip, on my back glute with my leg out, I can do a million things. Okay. I can hit a baseball, I hit a tennis ball, I can hit a golf ball, I can turn and smack you in the face. And certainly I can turn and throw a baseball, hit a tennis ball, throw a cricket ball, throw a football. Okay. And guess what? We just finished the NFC and AFC championship games. Every time, every single time, the ball is thrown short by the quarterback. What does the color announcer say? Okay. He says he threw off his back foot. Right. Which means you've got to bring your foot forward, your back leg forward. Okay. All your weight back and go forward, spinning off your front foot. That is how you throw. That's going to keep your arms safe. So the drop and drive versus drift, in my opinion, get rid of drift. Drift is dangerous. Drift is going to hurt your arm. Drift is going to put you in a position where your arm is way behind your head. And when you turn your pelvis or you turn your back or you turn your spine, all of the stress is on the little tendons of your arm and elbow. And I guarantee, you don't believe me? Go look up the last 100 Tommy John injuries and you will see this position. You will see this. You won't see a Roger Clemens position where he's dropped and driving his legs out. You're going to see this position every single time. I mean, how many injuries does this guy have? I've got Noah Syndergaard over there. How many injuries does he have? Same position. Okay. Get out of the drift, drop and drive. So that's it for the lesson of the day. That's it for this episode. For more information, or if you want to work with me directly and you're an adolescent pitcher between, let's say, 10 and 15, you can visit velocityrx.org. You can click anywhere on my social media. We could jump on a coaching call. I could see if you are a fit to work together, and then we could start and we can add you to the list of the 1 million arms I plan to save. Thanks for listening and see you next time.